What's going on, boxing fans? It's your boy, Full Counter Boxing, coming at you with another boxing video. Make sure you smash that like button and subscribe to my channel for more hardcore boxing content. Today we are going to cover Errol Spence Jr. versus Yordenis Ugas fight. This is a really good fight, and a lot of people want to see the Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence fight. I understand, but there's more fights to be done in the welterweight division, because Ugas been calling Errol Spence Jr. out for a while. He's been calling out Terrence Crawford, everybody. He wanted to smoke with everybody, and a lot of boxing fans, they don't think about how good Yordenis Ugas is. And, because of Danny Garcia, because of Keith Thurman, because of Sean Porter, Ugas was always, never thought of. He was always forgot about. And, he never quite was able to work his way up into stardom under the WBA sanctioning body. And, when Keith Thurman had the belt, everybody in the division was aiming at Keith Thurman. So, Ugas didn't get the names to really fight. So he just kind of hung out in the background and just kind of kept winning and calling out people. But if you look at Yordenis Ugas, if you look at his boxing career and you look at his style, Ugas, he has 27 wins, 4 losses, and 12 KOs. He's 5'9", and he's got a 69-inch reach. And he's a big welterweight. And, when he fought Sean Porter, that should have kind of gave everybody an idea of what kind of fighter Yordenis Ugas really is, right? Because Yordenis Ugas, we can all argue that he won that fight. And, Sean Porter is the litmus test for the welterweight division. And he gave Sean Porter all kind of problems in that fight. He was going to Sean Porter's body. He was hitting him with them combinations. He was walking down Sean Porter. And, it was a knockdown in the fight that the ref didn't call. But clearly, Ugas knocked down Sean Porter in that fight. And many boxing fans argue all day long that Sean Porter lost that fight. But he got the decision because he was the WBA champion at the time, so he got the nod. Not the WBA, but the WBC champion at the time, so he got the nod. And that was just one of the fights, one of the side fights he had before. He decided to go and accept Errol Spence Jr. call out, to unify. So I think he might have had one more fight for Mel or something like that, Sean Porter. But eventually he went on to fight Errol Spence Jr. And we all know that, Errol Spence Jr. unified and got the WBC title at that time. So, but Ugas' fighting style, it's gonna translate pretty well in this fight, because Errol Spence Jr. likes to stay in range so he can touch you at times. Errol Spence Jr. has great distance control, but he is there to be hit. And Ugas, when he's in range, he's very economical in his punches. He don't like to punch a lot, but when he do punch, he's very accurate. And he throws really fast and good combinations. Now, he's very big and he's very strong in the body, but he don't have a lot of punching power. But he has good punching placement and he has great timing. And, if you look at Ugas, he fights with a lot of heart and a lot of skill, because he comes from that Cuban school of boxing. As an amateur, he beat Terrence Crawford in the amateurs. Now, I know the amateurs don't really mean anything, and it's not to throw shade at Terrence Crawford, but that kind of tells you what kind of dude we're talking about here. You know what I'm saying? Because I believe Errol Spence Jr. was beat by Castano in the amateurs. So they, you can always, get better. As you become a pro, it doesn't mean anything to amateurs. But Ugas always had that Cuban school, that Cuban discipline, and he, you can see it in his fighting style now because he's a counterpuncher, and he's a pure counterpuncher, and he has pretty good defense because he likes to use the high guard, right, when he comes in to attack, and he's so good at using that high guard, but he still gets tattooed. You've seen what his face looked like after the Manny Pacquiao fight. Looked like Manny Pacquiao got it in, but he's not afraid to take chances he is not afraid to take a punch, to give a punch. And while he's walking you down, he's trying to demoralize you, and he's good at doing that, and talking to you while he's, trying to intimidate you and walk you down. Now that's going to be something he can't do in this Errol Spence Jr. fight, because Errol Spence Jr., he's all about the smoke. You've seen what happened when him and Sean Porter, Sean Porter was persistent to fight inside. So, Errol Spence Jr., went ahead and fought inside. So Errol Spence Jr., that's one of his things. He's like to fight you how you want to fight. So if Ugas is mostly an inside fighter, he'll box. He can box, but he's not the best with his footwork, because usually he just take a few steps back, and he'll start walking you down all over again. And he has good head movement. He's excellent at the mid-range area where he can move his head and make you miss, but usually he's waiting for you to throw so he can counter you, and he's really good at that. But Errol Spence Jr. work rate is going to be a problem for him. That's going to be a huge problem, because Errol Spence Jr. is going to be putting on the pressure, and Ugas is not going to be wanting to go backwards because he's more effective going forward. So that's why this fight is going to be really exciting. And to see high guard, to see Errol Spence Jr. in his high guard, and see Ugas in this high guard, and see which one can outsmart and outmaneuver the other one. That's why this fight is going to be so good. So, there's a lot of detractors to the fight for obvious reasons, because Ugas has the WBA belt on the line. So if Errol Spence Jr. Unifies and get that belt, that'll be his third belt, and he'll have more leverage, going for undisputed. But the next fight will be for undisputed. There won't be any belts left out there, and Errol Spence Jr. will be, fighting for the undisputed championship of 147. If he can make that fight with Terrence Crawford. But Errol Spence Jr. He's going to have to be in top shape, because Ugas is always in supreme shape, and he's going to have to keep his defense tight, because Ugas can go to the body real fast, and he's economical. So his hands is always in punching position, and he's always got his defense tight, and he's always trying to get to that body to slow you down. But Errol Spence Jr. he can box Ugas. Ugas is not, he's not a great mover. So if Errol Spence Jr. come in and uses his jab like he did in the Mikey Garcia fight or the Danny Garcia fight, I don't see much Ugas can do besides try to counter him off the jab and try to get on the inside. But that's where Errol Spence Jr. does his best work. So that's why this matchup will be so interesting. If Errol Spence Jr. training with Blu-ray, so we're getting a new, Super Saiyan type of conditioning. We might see a knockout I'm thinking maybe the 8th round because Ugas is 35 years old. You know what I'm saying? He's getting his shot, but he's very hungry. So his willpower is going to be something that Errol Spence Jr. is going to have to break if he's going to get a knockout. But with Ugas moving forward and his aggressive style, I can see him getting knocked out around the 8th round because, you know, he almost got smoked by Abel Ramos, who almost knocked him out in the 12th round, and he got too aggressive. And, you know, Ugas was almost out of there. I can see Errol Spence Jr., you know, beating him to the punch, catching him or breaking him down and knocking him out by the 8th round. So, you know, it's going to be a really, really intensive fight. You know, people don't think that, but because the WBA is on the line and because Ugas worked so hard to get to this level, I'm pretty sure, I don't know why, but Errol Spence Jr. tend to get these fights where people are extra hungry because, you know, they waited so long for the big money. Like Sean Porter, he was the WBC champion. You know what I'm saying? He did not want to let that belt go. So he trained extra hard to keep it. Just with Ugas, he's going to train extra hard to keep his belt. To keep his belt and to get Errol Spence Jr. belts. Just like Kell Brook, he fought hard to keep his belt. And so, you know, Errol Spence Jr. is doing the heavy lifting because these guys got everything to lose. You see what I'm saying? And, you know, this fight is, you know, a lot of people say it's 50-50. You know what I'm saying? And that might be true because it just depends on what Ugas has left in the tank, how hungry he is, how well did he prepare and train for this fight. And I think that's going to tell a story. If Errol Spence get in there and just, you know, wash him, then we know that Ugas, you know what I'm saying, he just didn't have it, or maybe, you know, age played a part in it because, you know, we can see that, you know, Ugas has really stayed on course. You know what I'm saying? He's played the back. Now it's his time to shine. But I see a 8th round knockout due to Errol Spence Jr. power, conditioning, improved conditioning with Blu-ray, and you know what I'm saying? That's the way I see it. Knockout, 8th round. But that's all I got. This has been Full Counter Boxing. Make sure you smash that like button and subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you guys in the next one. And remember, don't go around here loud dog. Yes, I have it. See you guys in the next one.